Welcome to another update from your Board of Directors. This time we're going to focus on what's been going on in the second quarter, starting with about April 1st. And joining me as usual is President David Brown.
Howdy.
Dressed for Stampede. And President-elect Tom Westcott, who's not. And me, who's all business. You know, one of the most important things any Board of Directors works on is planning the course for an organization. And recently the Board of Directors adopted a new strategic plan.
That's right, Alan. This spring we spent quite a bit of time in a room building out a plan for 2018 to 2020. For people who aren't familiar, it's the CREB strategic plan, and we'll be rolling it out later this year. I can't get into a lot of the details right now, but we will have a lot of communication as we head towards the end of the year on it.
And what better way for us to launch our 75th anniversary celebration, Tom?
If you go back and look at all the things we've accomplished and some of the new stuff that we're putting together, the directions we're heading, I think it's just going to be excellent.
Well, that's the interesting thing about taking pause and looking back, is it gives us sort of some perspective on how things have really evolved. And there's some things that we kind of take for granted that have to change. A good example of that, David, is the recent decision to retire our compensation fund.
Yeah, it's a fund that was in place for a long period of time. When it was established, had great purposes to build up the MLS system. But since that time, it's become an item that's on our budget every year that we constantly look at, and a lot of boards have actually eliminated. We're probably one of the last in Canada to even have it on our budget anymore. And since this item has been on our agenda for a lot of years, things have changed in the market tremendously.
Well, and the notion that we need some sort of a fund to reinforce the premise behind the multiple listing service and to provide it with confidence is something that's way past time. We've had so many changes to our rules and the protocol for handling deposits, the options that agents have to sort of manage where funds go and how they're handled within all the laws and rules. Gives a lot more flexibility that people can manage the process to reduce the risk.
And even the whole process in itself, we understand that it is a touchy issue and will always be with members, but the whole process itself is under review right now, and it has been for a while, because we want to have a proper process in place if any brokerage were to go through a financial situation again.
Well, that's right. I mean, we went to Area a year and a half ago and asked them to move forward on starting a provincial conversation about at-risk commissions, which ended up being the name of the task force that they struck with RECA and REX. And that work is still underway, but I think anybody can see, and especially in the recent update from Area, there will be a variety of solutions. There won't be one quick fix, but what isn't on the table is creating some sort of provincial compensation fund. So again, a completely different direction.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to finally having some sort of solution, I think, that are going to work for all the members, in not only in our board, but all the realtors that practice in the province.
And that's why, as of September 1st, the directors have decided to retire this fund and actually move those $110,000 into our main reserve fund and make it clear to the members that the Board of Directors, as per the bylaw, won't be considering any more applications to the fund. That's the way the bylaw is set up. But ultimately, the directors felt it was important for the members to have, I guess, the final say, Tom.
Well, that's right, and at the 2018 AGM, members will be asked to approve a motion to remove this compensation fund from the bylaws.
Right.
It only makes sense.
Okay, well, that concludes this update, and I think it's time to loosen things up here, folks. Have a good summer. If anything comes to mind, let us know. Otherwise, have a great Stampede.
Yeehaw!